More private colleges are struggling to keep the lights on, and as a last resort, they're dipping into their endowments. New data shows that nearly 200 schools borrowed from restricted donor endowments last year, using most of that money for everyday operating expenses. And it's happening because more students are skeptical of the value of a college degree, and higher education enrollment is falling, estimated to drop, David, by 13% by 2041. Some of that is the declining birth rate, but some of that is, also just growing skepticism about colleges. But what do you make of this, using the endowment to keep the lights on?
I think using the endowment to keep the lights on is horrific. I think these are colleges that are awfully managed. I mean, the stewardship of resources is deplorable. But let's get down to the root problem. People don't see the value proposition after years of indoctrination, after commoditizing the degree, after using it as a lab for far-left progressive ideology. There is not an ROI that is rational other than for about 10 to 15 schools. Now, I freely admit, a lot of people know I've never spent a day in my life in a college classroom, and I love stories like this. I could talk about it all day. People that make a success of their life without having to go to school and another degree, and all these types of things. I love people that get out there and start working, and I can't stand what these people have done to our young people by giving them a worthless degree that costs $300,000. I'll take the over on that percentage. 2041, 13%, no way, way higher.
Wow. And the Wall Street Journal is outlining some really stark examples. There was one person they talked to, a woman who donated to a school, the endowment, to create a scholarship in her deceased husband's name. Just to find out that the school actually took it and used it just to pay everyday bills. And she's like, what about the scholarship?
Right.
In some cases, it feels like, misappropriation of funds. Is that going too far?
Well, that is sad, but it points back to David's point of mismanagement and what's happening here. And I think the antics that we've seen across college campuses over the last few years and the spread of anti-Semitism, shining the light on what is really happening and the indoctrination and what the value of that education is waking everybody up to say, I'm not funding this machine anymore. Now, after all that, there was a conversation about the endowments and their tax advantages, and should the government give them those advantages, given the way things are on college campuses. That really sort of never went anywhere, and we got sidetracked with many other problems facing the nation. But to a certain degree, them having to tap into their piggy bank a little bit is a wake-up call for them to say that they have to kind of think about, listen, that we all sell something and somebody buys it. And what they are selling right now is just not resonating to the same degree that it once was. And so you have to, when you find that to be the case, you've got to change what you're selling or adapt so that the buyers come back.
So, Lou, do you think they can change what they're selling, or is this just the beginning of what's about to get worse?
No, I think it's like real estate. If the location's not the problem, it's price. So you got to bring the price down completely. And I think, part of it is we turned the free spigot of money off from the federal government. We said we're going to forgive student loans, and then we put loan limits on where you can borrow from. And I got to say this, for once, we always knock the youth in this world, right?
Yeah.
The younger generations. I have an 18-year-old son. I think he's figured it out. And just like him, many of his peers, to David's point, the ROI is just not there. Yeah. They stare down the prospect of a $30,000 to $60,000 a year to $90,000 a year, education, and go, where am I going to get the job, the money to pay for that? If you have smart parents that are like, I'm not paying for that either, you got to have some skin in the game. It becomes a choice of.
I know what Taylor's about to say, and I can't wait to respond.
I'm speaking my own book.
Yeah.
A few good things that my parents learned me. Go to school when someone else is paying for it. So I had very nice employers who reimbursed me for my education. So I guess I'm grateful for that. I didn't have to go into debt for that. But when you were thinking, what if I can't measure an ROI just based on money? What if the ROI from law school, I knew I was never going to be a practicing attorney, but I went to law school because I wanted to learn how to argue both sides, to think, to read the Constitution.
Can you pay back that loan with your thoughts, though? That's the thing. I think that's the reality of it.
I didn't have to take out a loan, right? The school paid for it through a scholar, right? So I only went to a school where they said, we'll pay your way. I turned down lots of schools that said, you have to pay your own way. So is that not an ROI Yes, I could sit down with you and you and I could debate the Constitution. But there was something so valuable about sitting in there and having the professor one-on-one for an hour go with me and grill me on criminal law until I was like bright red and shaking because it's the Socratic method. And he said, I'm not going to let you off the hook. And I've never experienced
But that's the
that.
value of the
not what's happening.
That's the value, not the cost.
That's also graduate school and the practice of law. It's not what's happening on undergrad
It is not the
campuses.
mentality of what undergrad students are going into school for. They're going to go party. And they're going to go to football games, which I'm a big fan of. That's the best value of college, is the football game Saturday.
My husband would agree.
But I mean totally serious.
Yeah.
Some social experience in the phase post-high school, pre-adulthood, I'm all for it. But my father had a PhD and 2 master's degrees and died very young, and that's why I didn't go to school. And I'll never forget him saying, don't you dare go to school if you think you need it, and don't you dare go to school if you think it guarantees you anything. Go to school to have these interactions with professors, to study the masters, to learn from all these things in history. That's not why people are going anymore. They're not getting it. The professors aren't even in the classroom.
Yeah.
It is the biggest scam in world history.
And look, and I agree, 98% of the cases are that. But I think, though, it's up to then those schools to adapt and to say, here is my value proposition. And if you give me a good value proposition, then I can go to my daughter and say, okay, we'll think about this. But if you don't, if you're going to give me, go Gators on a Saturday, then no,
Listen,
we're not going down to
both.
Florida.
I went to a small school that had 8 people in seminar classes, and I was an English major and took contemporary women's poetry, contemporary Irish poetry, which serves me no purpose right now in my current career. And then I went to the University of Florida and had to seek out good classes. All told, I had over 100, and then I got an MBA. I had over $150,000 in student debt, and I can't tell you, but maybe 1 or 2 classes that I now could take online for free were actually worth the time.
Yeah,
Or
I just think schools will pivot. They'll say, you know what, you get a full ride. Kids aren't going to pay anymore. So you either get a full ride and go on someone else's dime, not your own.
If they have an endowment.
If there's
left,
an
right?
endowment
But I think that's what's
question.
illustrating this point is that schools are quickly realizing now the secret's out, that it's not worth it. And we have too many of these for-profit private schools that have been operating under this guise of a lie that you need to go to school and have some type of degree to have like a prosperous future, and kids were willing to pay anything and take out a loan.
Wow.
What are the
that's
schools marketing?
ending.
Like my daughter is entering university in the fall, and when we do all these college tours, you look at the brochures. I remember Washington State had this big brochure about the largest hot tub in the Western Hemisphere or something. like how many of them are even talking about the classics, the programs, the academic? I think we talk about ROI. I'm with you. I don't think the only reason to go to college is for what the paycheck will be. But I do think people going in should know that you're going to have the same qualification job-wise as if you didn't go, where those things are true.
Right.
The women's poetry thing we'll talk about offline.
Just real quick for me, I got more out of high school and law school than I did out of college, but I needed college to be able to get there.
Right.
That's the frustrating part if you do want to go that route.